Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh, God.
Chubs Gone Wild.
Hey there, and welcome to Chubs Gone Wild, episode 505. Ooh, that's big. It's currently July 31st, 2023. It is 97 degrees and clear and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, where it is 35 days until Labor Day. 73 till Canadian Thanksgiving, 92 till Halloween, and 148 days of shopping left until Christmas.
I'm all done.
Yeah, it's easy for you. Excuse me. Don't forget, speaking of holidays, our Halloween contest is coming up. Anyone who sends us anything, an email, a Facebook message, a comment, a voice message, etc., 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 including lunchbox picks, will be entered into the year end. Well, not the year end, but in a way, it's the year end, because for witches, it is the new year. But anyway.
Well, and you.
What?
And you.
Yep. So it is the new year. Oh my goodness, he's grabbing things. Hey, what do you think? We have a new video opening for our listeners who also like to go over and watch the video. We have a new video opening. So the video program that I use, which comes with Windows, is no longer working. So you have to use a website interface type thing now. So it's a new program. So I decided to go ahead and throw us into a new opening over there. You had a chance to look at it. What you think?
I thought it looked great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Patreon then. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like, podcasts, books, videos, so much more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Stasach from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, Kingsley, and Moose P. And please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame if you would like your name added to that list. For as little as $1 a month. What'd you have for lunch?
I had fire wings.
Oh, those are very, very lovely.
I got the boneless wings this time because they were on sale for Mondays and Tuesdays are on sale.
Oh, so you don't like to get boned, huh?
No, I do like the bone, but they're cheaper if you get them without.
Well, I like them
Mondays
without.
and Tuesdays. Yeah, I know.
Now,
Well,
I will say that there is sometimes I'm just in the mood to have a good bone in my, but for the most part, I like them without. Anyway, more like chicken strips. Alrighty, what we got else going on here? Okay, so we talked about Patreon. Well, let's jump back in time to 1975 on the morning of July 31st, when James Riddle Hoffa, one of the most influential American labor leaders in the 20th century, is reported officially missing after he failed to return home the previous night. Though he is probably believed to have been the victim, popularly believed to be the victim of a mafia hit, conclusive evidence has never been found, and Hoffa's fate remains a mystery, even to Geraldo Rivera. Do you remember that?
yeah.
Watching that was just the biggest.
No, I actually didn't watch it.
I believe that I did, and I don't know why, other than back then, I actually thought Geraldo was somebody legitimate instead of, well, what he's become. Sad to say. Anyway, moving on from there. Today's affirmation. Are you breathing? Breathe deep. This is a big one. I am willing to go beyond the need to make others wrong. I vow to stop all criticism and practice loving and accepting myself. Well, I already do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
Now you, on the other hand.
Yeah, do we have any holidays that we might have?
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, let's see. We got a lot probably coming up here today. Oh, nope. But we do have National Avocado Day, which I love. Avocados are a wonderful, amazing food. I love them so much. But man, are they fucking expensive.
Well, if you know where to get them.
Off the vine, yes.
They're not on a vine, they're on a tree.
What? Sacrilege. Anyway, I'm going to start a vine avocado movement just for that. We and the flat earthers will take over. Anyway, well. All right, it's also National Cotton Candy Day. Yeah? Don't you love that video of when the little raccoon has it and then he dips it to wash it and it just floats away?
He's so sad.
I know, it's so funny. I'm kidding. No, actually, it is really sad. I did feel sad for it, right? But anyway, my mom loves cotton candy. I don't know. It gives me the squeebies. But anyway, today is also Jump for Jelly Beans Day. Jelly Bean Juanitas? Anybody? Anybody?
Nope.
Okay. He was a mixologist that did a lot of Madonna's famous mixes. Jelly Bean Juanitas. All right. It's also National Nut Day, Raspberry Cake, Shredded Wheat, Uncommon Instrument Awareness. You have an uncommon instrument. Instrument. Also, it's World Ranger Day. No, nothing. I once had a slight flirtation with a guy named Ranger. Actually, I should use that name in a book. It's very hot. His name was Ranger. Ranger Joe. Ranger Joe. All right. Well, that's holidays. Let's talk about some birthdays. Hi. My eyes are over here. Birthdays.
Yeah.
All right. Happy birthday to Lee, to Farrell. Oh, she used to do that podcast, Pleased to Meet You, with Christian, who is no longer with us. Also, today's birthdays, we have Mark, our local boy Mark, who we did many, many plays with. And somebody else we did many plays with. Can you tell me who it is?
Bethany.
Yeah, Queen. She was one of my favorite people to work with.
And don't forget.
Damien. Oh, Mike? I don't know. There's nobody else on my list. Tell me.
Harry Potter.
Wait. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Harry Potter and
He blocked me on Facebook.
Neville was also born the same day.
I think he was the real hero. So anyway.
But did you notice they dropped that in the later books? They kind of threw that out there, peppered it out there, and like second or third book, we knew that they shared a birthday, and that someone born on that day was the one, and then they didn't talk about it anymore. Right.
Well, I think it's kind of like the heir and the spare thing. Like, Divine Providence was like, okay, well, we'll make two of these kids, and then if one of them gets killed, the other one will work. So whichever one. I mean, he could have gone after Neville very easily, right?
Well, we know that bitch head, whatever her name was, she went after his parents.
Yes. And then she killed Sirius Black. I killed Sirius Black. My mom's rereading all the Harry Potter books right now.
Oh, you should get her the digital tapes so she can listen to them because
No, that's what she's doing.
oh, good, because Jim Dale, who does the voice work on all the books and won, I think, 3 Grammys for it, is fantastic.
Yeah, she loves him. We have both, well, I tried to listen to the Stephen Fry one, and then she listened to all the Stephen Frys, and she's like, nope, Jim Dale, that's the one. She's listened to them many, many times, so she's more of a pothead than I am. All right.
No,
Also,
it's Potterfield.
yeah, well, we just don't talk about it right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Also, happy birthday to Tim, to Marcia, Kyle, Casey. Oh, our dear friend, Charlie. His birthday is coming up.
Gosh, I haven't seen him in forever.
I know. Huh, that's weird. Anyway, also happy birthday to Dara, Baz,
The Explorer?
what?
Dora the Explorer?
Dara.
Oh, Dara.
And then we've got Roby, Stens, Kevin, Joshua, Brandon, David. Oh, sweet David. He used to run the shop downtown that we loved. And the Gifted Gardener.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Dawn, who we worked with many times, TV personality, Dawn Deason.
Oh, Don.
Yes, loved her.
Dawn. Don.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
And then we have Paul, and then we have Martinez and Bradley, and that famous, completely infamous. He'd be the piano player on the Love Boat, Mr. Barry. And then we have Gail, Tiffany, Casey, and James. Yes, James. Lala. No, not Lala. James. Now, let's move on from birthdays. Happy birthday to everybody. We do have something in feedback. So open your mouth and let me tamp it down. Sean wrote in and said, I'm not a big fan of Subway, but if I'm there, I'll get a ham, turkey, and white with lettuce, cucumber, onion.
On white, not and white.
That's what I said.
Okay. So a ham turkey on white with lettuce, cucumber, onion, and mustard.
Yes. I see. For me, that would be okay, but the cucumber, I just don't like the cucumber on a sandwich. I don't even like cucumber sandwiches. Even when they're cut so thin, it melts in your mouth. All right. Next up, we do have some Chub hugs that we'd like to send out today. First off, to our dear friend Ouija, who had eye surgery today.
Well,
I have seen the pictures, I have seen the videos.
Okay, it's eyelid surgery.
Yes.
Not eye surgery. Very different.
Oh, okay.
Well, only because I've had it. So the eye never is touched. Yeah, and I was glad that I was able to share with him that it wasn't painful. And the weird, and I didn't tell him, but the weirdest thing is that they actually open up your eye and they put a little metal cap over the eye itself to make sure that nothing touches the lens and the optic nerve area. But that's just weird. It doesn't hurt. It's just odd. So I just can't wait to see the pictures afterwards because the bruising is phenomenal in the eye socket.
Well, they actually had to put him under.
Really? Good for him. What kind?
I don't know, but they were originally going to do it. He talked them out of it because he's one of those that comes up swinging out of it. So they said, oh, well, we don't want that. But then when we got there, the surgeon said, oh, no, you're going under. But we'll just watch you real carefully. And so they did that, and you know, his wasn't like yours. It wasn't just the one stitch. He had to have where he had a band in two different places inside the eyelid, and then rooted up into his forehead and attached into a muscle in his forehead.
Wow.
Yeah, so little different. You had the very simple one, and which
Oh yeah,
was very
yeah.
nice.
Anytime they rip open your eyelid, it's simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but at least yours, yeah, was a little
Well,
different.
I did drive home afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He didn't. In fact, his mother is supposed to. You know how they are, but his mother is like there all day to, you know, make sure that he's okay after everything. After she completely forgot that it was the day of surgery, and he calls saying, "I'll meet you outside in 10 minutes," and she said, "Why?" So yeah, that happened. Anyway, also on a more sad note, we want to send love out to Nephi's family, whose pup Thriller passed away this last week. So, uh, what you got?
Well, those are pretty awful.
Well, the Ouija one, that'll actually turn into something wonderful.
Yeah, I know, but it's just, it's I didn't realize it was going to be so much more detail, the things
Right,
going on.
right.
Yeah,
Well, and day after tomorrow, my mother goes into surgery and has her knee ripped out and replaced by robotics. So,
yeah. Sign me up. I need two. Sign me up for two.
uh,
Yeah, that commercial from Kaiser when the guy's walking and the voiceover says, and even that thing on your knee that makes you do this, and the guy the knee kind of gives
uh,
up a little bit. Yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, I got two of those.
yeah. Well, you handled them very well. What's your chub hugs then?
Um, okay. I want to send out a chub hug to the woman who had to sit on the machine for 10 minutes today that I needed to use or wanted to use at the gym this morning. I mean, did she
Ooh,
really need to sit there for 10 minutes? She only used the machine 3 times. How much resting does she need? But, who am I to judge?
well,
Um,
you're Tom. You judge.
yeah. And then, of course, Ukraine and people who are dealing with the heat and the flooding and stuff. Yeah, all those
Yeah,
people.
because
But
there's a lot of
mostly,
crap going on in the world right
but
now.
mostly to that bitch who wouldn't get out that machine today.
Oh, that's very Republican. Well, that is a good chub hug to send out. And I'm sure that chub hug will be sent with a little push that knocks her off the seat as well. All right. Well, let's find out what happened in celebrity news. Madonna penned a touching tribute to her children as she took a moment to reflect 1 month after her hospitalization for bacterial infection. Love my family and friends. Well, let me rephrase that. Love from my family and friends is the best medicine. The singer 64 wrote via Instagram on Sunday alongside a carousel of photos featuring her son David and daughter Lourdes.
And you know
Also,
when her birthday is, don't you?
the 18th, I believe, or 17th, 16th.
I think it's the 19th, isn't it?
I just
It's
know it's like the 16th through 18th, somewhere right in there.
yeah, it's not on my birthday.
Okay,
It's
so I didn't think
close.
that.
Yeah, so it's either the 17th or the 19th.
Okay,
Yeah, but then she'll be 65.
works for me. I just wish she would, get healed and get back out on the road, poor thing.
Well, she's too busy out there, being filthy, getting bacterial infections.
Uh-huh, yeah, that's how it works. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, Zachary Ty Bryan is in an Oregon jail once again for alleged domestic violence. The home improvement actor, who's now 41, was arrested Friday on charges of felony assault, a situation that mirrors his 2020 arrest for the assault of his then girlfriend, with whom he maintained a romantic relationship during his marriage to his ex-wife. So there you go. So you remember Zachary Ty Bryan? I think he played the oldest of the kids.
Oh yeah, he was the cute one. More kind of the bully of the three brothers.
Yes, he was the
brothers,
bully.
yeah.
And then when he turned 18, yes, I guess he could be considered the cute one. But I don't know, all those kids just annoyed me. So I did like that they were kind of at the very end, they were taking the youngest one down the Darlene route, where he started wearing like all black and being kind of different. And you could tell that they were kind of leading him into, well, yeah, obscurity apparently, because where is he now? All right.
Probably beating up his girlfriend.
No, that would be the oldest one, and the
Oh,
youngest
maybe he
one
followed in
is a
in the
big good
footsteps.
queen now. He's
Yeah.
big, and the youngest one, who knows? All right. Well, we do have some celebrity deaths. A couple of these hit a little bit hard this week, including Irish singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor, best known for her covering the Prince's "Nothing Compares to You." She died on the 26th. She was 56, and it was a suicide a year after her 17-year-old son committed suicide. So I kind of figured that it wouldn't be long for her after that. Bo Goldman, the Academy Award-winning screenwriter of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Melvin and Howard, died the 25th. He was 90. Inga Swenson, who received 3 Primetime Emmy nominations for her role as Gretchen Krauss on Benson, as well as 2 Tony nods for her work on Broadway, died on the 23rd at 90. I didn't even know she was still alive, but I loved her.
I loved her too.
Wonderful. Pamela Blair, Broadway actress known for originating the role of Val in Broadway's smash hit A Chorus Line, died on the 23rd. She was 73.
Oh no, you know who she was in A Chorus Line?
Val.
Val, but you know who Val was?
No.
Tits and
Oh, that was actually like one of my top 3 favorite numbers in that whole show. Yeah. Then we have Lilia Goldani, best known as the star of John Cassavetes' Shadows and as the friend of Ellen Bernstein's character in the Martin Scorsese film Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. She died on the 22nd at the age of 86. And Randy Meisner, founding member of the Eagles. He sang lead vocals of the classic song Take It to the Limit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, just this morning, we learned that Paul Reubens, who played Pee Wee Herman and many, many, many other iconic roles, he was 70 years old and he died of cancer. He's been battling it for 6 years, and he did not talk about it publicly.
Yeah, he said, "Sorry, I'm not going to be one of those guys that are going to pose a good face and let you watch me deteriorate. I'm not going to be that guy." I met him once.
Really?
Yeah, it was at the premiere of Pee-wee's Big Adventure movie.
Wow.
I was at the party afterwards. So I was the photographer for the Chinese theater that summer for all the premieres. So I got to go to a couple good parties.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
I liked him. I didn't care about all the rhetoric that apparently knocked him out for a little bit.
Well, getting caught jacking off in an adult theater is not something. If you're in an adult theater and you're not jacking off, you're doing something wrong.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is back then they were like, "Oh my God." These days it would be like, "Are there pictures?"
Yeah, and well, the big question is, come on, you're rich enough. Why do you have to go to an adult theater? Well, probably to look for help, but
yeah.
But still,
or if you have a showing off fetish or an I like to watch fetish or whatever. But speaking of, did you see the clip of the politician who was speaking? And I don't know whether it was his assistant or another politician or something was behind him, and he was on his phone, and the grinder noise, the grinder match noise, like went off.
Oh, I don't know what that means. It makes noises.
Yeah, there's certain sounds that certain apps make when somebody like messages you, like the growler one where it's like boo boo, and it's like, oh,
Oh,
God, it's so
no, I don't
obnoxious.
know. I don't have any
You.
sound on any of those things.
Okay, well that I might allow. Otherwise, I'd say you are so
So
loud.
does it mean that somebody near him was on
The
Growler?
you see the person clearly in the video. The person behind him is on his phone, and as soon as the noise goes off, he starts looking around and puts his phone down.
Oh, so it was him, not the politician.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, because that was funnier when it was the politician.
it would have been funnier, but yeah, especially yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know who'd match on him. Anyway, it is now time for Tom to talk to you about
Oh, it is? Oh, then
Yes,
let me
Queen.
get off. Okay, I'm gonna get off my phone real quick. Okay, and switch over to me. It's all about me. Okay, it's okay. We'll start off with last night was the last night of the food truck race, and the Easy Vegans won the food truck race
Oh,
for
good.
I think it was the 16th season. Actually, last season a vegan truck also won. So it just shows you that they're getting to the point of where they're making vegan food taste good and look good.
That's
You
good.
know, yeah. So and that's the whole secret with trying to get anybody to do anything is that it still has to taste good. Come on.
Right.
Uh, let's see. Finished up. Well, we'll be talking about the Secret Invasion. You watched the finale?
Yes.
Okay. Silo. We finished up Silo over on Apple TV. Now, it's a 10 episode season, and the first, I want to say the first 4 episodes, I didn't know who I was following. You've got to have like a heroine or a
Yeah.
hero that
Someone
you're
whose
following.
eyes you're looking through. Yeah.
Right. And the first two, the person who ended up being the person we followed hasn't even shown up yet. It was weird. So the first few episodes, the first half felt disjointed, but once that person got in there, they became the new sheriff of the silo, and then they were finding out things that were going wrong. They were, someone ends up being dead, and then all things are leading to what's going on in the silo. There's 10,000s, tens of thousands of people inside the silo buried in the ground, and there's shit going on, and the sheriff's trying to find out. Well, the end was amazing. It was like it took a long time, but it was well worth it, because one of the characters gets thrown out of the silo and lives to tell or be able to see what's outside of the silo, because they're thinking it's all poisoned air, and it's everyone's it's death, but
Yeah.
you see what's going on when they get out, and it's like, oh God, please, there's got to be a second season now. I need a second season. Okay.
Did you ever see that show that was like they were on a generational ship, and then there was this little girl that was born with like these little powers or something like that, and the whole thing turned out, and you'll probably not have, I don't know, spoiler alert, it turned out that they were actually put in there and then like observed for like 50 or more like generations. It was just like this whole thing to see if they could actually have people that would be able to do a generational thing. So they just lived on this ship and everybody pretended they were in space.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
So
see
she
that.
would be like, they're watching us out there. They're watching us. And they're like, oh, it's space. Anyway, right.
Okay. Righteous Gemstones got renewed for season 4, but in episode 8, there was a same-sex kiss that should have taken nobody by surprise, but it was fun that it happened.
Good.
Yeah, and because I mean, it's like, when is this going to end? I mean, when is it going to the odd flirtation? When
Hmm.
is it going to stop and become something else? And it did on that episode. So, and that was really fun. Let's see, claim to fame this week, or last week, we lost Alicia Keys' brother.
Oh.
Yeah, he got picked out, and the guy who I think is Donny Osmond's son, I confirmed it by looking up Donny Osmond's family, and there he was. So
Huh?
so I'm feeling pretty good about that. But I looked up Jimmy Carter's grandson, and one died, and the other one does not look like this kid. So I don't know who this guy is, but it had Peanuts, Nobel Prize, and grandfather. So I mean,
I bet he's the grandson of Charles Schultz.
okay, you may be right. I'll look that up. I don't know that if he won. I don't know if he won a Nobel Prize, but you may be right. I mean, you said that to me when I mentioned that before, that maybe it was Charles Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, while you're looking that up, let's see. Big Brother starts Wednesday night. So yes, finally, our waiting has now we've got something new to watch. That's what I'm thrilled about, because I mean, half the stuff that I'm talking about right now finishes, either has finished or finishes this week, like Righteous Gemstones. That's going to be finishing this week. Let's see. Then we got Food Truck finished, Secret Invasion finished, Silo finished. It's just been crazy, just crazy. I know we're almost done with Crime Scene Kitchen,
Hmm.
and they're going fast on Tough as Nails. It's just crazy, just crazy. Anyway, on Adam Eats the 80s. This is Adam Richman. And he's kind of lost things to do, because he was going back and finding 80s food to eat. And now we're doing things like, oh, look, I'm at a Star Wars museum. Oh, I'm at the Ghostbusters museum. Oh, yeah, I'm at the Back to the Future museum. And look, they happen to have this food, and I'm eating it. It's terrible because it's 40 years old. It's like, okay. Okay. Did you know that, oh, some pizza place had a pizza that had mini bagels on the top? That was the topping of the pizza. Remember the little mini bagels
Yeah.
snacks? Okay,
Yeah.
but these were about the size of maybe a nickel, and then they put them all over and it actually looked kind of good, but still,
Hmm.
uh, yeah. So, I don't know. The show, it's losing its oomph, and Adam's just big as a house, big as a house. Because remember when he lost all that weight?
Yeah, I thought it was cuter bigger myself, but
Yeah. Well,
I don't knock any of it.
yeah, no, I think he is cuter bigger, and he was funnier when he was bigger. So he's funny again, but he's yeah, he's it was so funny because he was walking behind this one person, and for a second I thought, oh my God, there's a brown bear walking behind that man. Oh, that's just,
Oh, well, as long as he's healthy.
well, that's the reason why he lost the weight the first
Yeah,
time,
I
after the
know.
heart
That's why I
attack.
was just hope he's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So after the after party, this is on Apple TV, second season. It is Tiffany Haddish, where she solves murders, even though she shouldn't be, because she's not really a detective in the sense, but she wants to be a murder mystery detective. So there's a murder at this wedding, and her friend's at the wedding and goes, oh my God, you got to come here. And she goes, why, is there another murder? And he goes, well, as a matter of fact, yes. So she's like, I'll be there. So it's kind of funny, but every episode is talking to one of the, I guess, the the suspected murderers. Everyone she's talked to gives their idea of what happened over the last weekend. So it's kind of like getting a different point of view each time. And
Yeah.
somebody's going to be lying, so I don't know if we're supposed to pick that out or not, but it's funny show. Let's see. Then Brian asked me to watch Praise Petey, which is a new animated show on Hulu.
Hmm.
It's Hulu come through Freeform over on cable, and it's Annie. God, I can't remember her last name. Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek, who played the sister,
Hmm.
who's now doing everything. She's in the first episode of um, the Black Mirror, the one that I keep begging you to watch. And then she's also in what is Kevin? Oh, fuck Kevin. That that sitcom where it's half of it's played as a sitcom. Whenever her husband Kevin's in the scene, it's a sitcom. But when he's not in the scene and she's out of the house, it turns into a drama. It's really an interesting concept, but not particularly a good show.
I remember you talking about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, she's good. And I mean, she's good. But anyway, praise Petey. She's the main voice. She ends up winning or getting a town in inheritance, kind of like Schitt's Creek, where she goes there and finds out that her father was actually a cult leader, and now she's the new cult leader because she's the child of their god guy. So, and it's not good. I mean, I watched 2 episodes and I didn't really enjoy it that much. And Brian says that it's either the third or the fourth episode kind of loses it. I'm like, oh, then it loses it? You mean the first two weren't lost enough? No, no, no. This is really bad. Great. And then I watched 2 movies. Werewolf Within, which was on think that's Hulu. No, maybe Peacock. Anyway, it's about this guy. As a matter of fact, the lead is a deputy who's just starting. He's like a deputy ranger, just starting in this new town,
Hmm.
and he's actually the guy who called in the murder on After Party. Same actor, so he's working, which is nice for him. He's from Veep. So basically, it's this very small town, and there seems to be a werewolf on the loose, and they've got to figure out who it is and how to defeat them. And it was very slow. And then I watched Ghost Team because I love ghost hunting, and so this one was John Heater, and then what's his name? I always forget his name. But a bunch of recognizable actors. Amy Sedaris is in it as well. Um, and what happens is there's a ghost hunting show on television that's looking to bring on new people. So John Hader wants to get onto the show. So he gets a bunch of his friends together and they go ghost hunting. And they get there and scary things are happening. And ultimately they find out that there's a mad scientist who's doing shit at this house that they're investigating, and he's got all these henchmen. It was terrible. It was terrible because it could have been a really fun ghost hunting show, but they let it. They went a different way, and it failed. Okay. And that's about it for just my stuff. But what did we watch together?
Well,
Well, not
actually, when you were talking about actors that you're glad they're working,
yeah.
uh, it all of a sudden just set off something that I've been meaning to look up. Um, what's his name? Michael Urie. I haven't seen him in stuff lately.
God, he's always working.
I know, right? Because he's incredible. Well, I did find out that he's been in 10 episodes of Shrinking. Have you watched that show? That's with
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So he's in that, which I did not know. And then got 2 movies coming up. Foul Play, which is a TV series. He plays Tarzan Tarheel. I don't know if it's a Tarzan, but that's his character. And then he plays Jamie in Summoning Sylvia. So that'll be a nice spooky movie for you to see. But I wish that they would come out with that series that he did back in what was it, 2014 or something? Partners, I believe it was called.
Okay.
Remember that at all?
Not right off the top of my head.
So yeah, it was 13 episodes, one season, Partners, and it was basically him and his best friend, and his best friend was straight. And well, anyway, it was a really fun show. All right, Bachelorette. So they went to New Orleans, and one of the men was actually from there and got very unhappy that he was not given the date card, the single date card, because he's from there. How could you not give him the single date card with her when he's from there? It's so inappropriate, and he got upset. And then, well, we had Sean, who was the cute Barbie, well, basically a walking Ken doll. And
Yeah, you liked him. He's your favorite.
well, I don't know if he was my favorite, but I thought he was at least cute. I mean, well, actually, they're all cute. It's just he at least stood out. I remembered who the hell he was, um, other than Joey. So anyway, he got all like, I can't believe that I haven't had a sad day. Oh my God. Why? And every time the same thing happened on The Bachelor. Every time they go to them and they say, why haven't I had a one-on-one date with you yet? And then they're all like, okay, bye.
Yeah,
It happened the series before.
she gets rid of him quick when they question her.
Yeah, exactly.
Which that's why I keep telling you she is too fragile.
See, I don't believe that. I believe that her fragility is like when she cries or gets upset about something, I believe she's doing that for the show. That's
Okay.
my thoughts.
All right.
I don't know. But anyway, so then she got rid of him. She got rid of Tanner. And I was fine. I mean, I knew that was coming because I looked up about Tanner, but yeah, it's like he went bye-bye. But he was one of those, like, the whole show you're like, oh yeah, I think I've seen him before, or you were like, where did he come from, who's that? So yeah. And then she got rid of one of the other, who was the other one she got rid of? I thought there was another one. I don't know, doesn't
There were
matter.
so many she was just
Yeah.
throwing out.
Well, yeah, but okay, so there's 4 left. There's the one that told her, I don't know if I could, see myself getting married. But she's like, oh well, keep him anyway. Um, and then there's Joey, and then I don't know, Doughton, and then the troublemaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, yeah, of all people, let's keep the troublemaker, because and he's the one who's all like, I didn't get the one-on-one her. I'm so pissed. Oh, whatever. Grow up. You know why you're there. Just own it. Anyway, so who are you voting for? Who are you hoping that she picks right now?
Braden.
So glad he's gone. Although it was much more boring without him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing Joey, but I wish Joey would cut his hair because it's just not working for me. Yeah, or at least get some height to it. Do something, because otherwise his face is so flat. He looks like you remember the Shirley Temple once she cut her hair a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm interested in that, but man, I tell you, I'm not really looking forward to Hometowns, because I remember that from the last 2, and man, are those are shit shows. But we'll see. We'll get through them. And then next up was Marvel's Secret Invasion. And so basically the whole 6-episode thing got wrapped up all neat and tidy, kind of, sort of, in a way. But it sure left it open for a season 2. I will tell you, the saving grace for this, I didn't hate the show. I really didn't. And there were aspects that I actually really liked when I was finally watching it. But I'm glad it's done. And if they do come out with a second season, you better damn well hope Olivia Colman is available, because she saved that series for me. I mean, the president was boring. And actually, the guy, the scroll that was played the the one that was trying to kill the president, that he was standing in for one of our
Don
superheroes.
Cheadle.
Yeah. Who? What? Say that again.
Don Cheadle.
Yes, I liked. I mean, obviously he was playing a Krull, playing a bad guy, but I'm like, I don't care. I like him. I thought he did a great job. But yeah, everybody else. Well, and the girl. See, I don't want to say that they did a bad job. I just, uh, it was like, oh, that was nice. What's next?
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I thought that the once we got to episode 4, it really moved. But
Yeah.
then what I did was um I saved 3 and 4 to watch kind of close together,
Mhm.
and then 5 and 6 to watch kind of close together. So I wasn't forgetting, because they're not real memorable episodes until you get to like 4, and then
Yeah.
4, and then five's bigger, and then 6 is well, the finale. So
Yeah. Well, and I actually I really like the twist that they did in 6. I thought that was a good twist. I didn't actually see that part of it. I knew something was up, but I didn't see that coming, so that was good. And then I don't think the bad guy has all the same powers that blah 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 and regenerative. I don't think he can really be dead. So,
well, I'm sure there's other evil people they can bring
oh
in.
yeah, but I'm just and the other, I don't know. I guess I wanted more of a non-realistic evil guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I want. But it was a good show. I don't want to say don't watch it. It was good, but it just didn't hit all my buttons. All right.
Well, then it's a good thing that Loki comes out this week, season 2, because I know how much you loved Loki season 1.
I really sometimes want to tell myself to go back and watch it because so many people loved it so much, but I just didn't. It didn't hit my buttons. It didn't. I was like episode 2, and I'm like, I don't care, and I've got to care.
Yeah, well, I
Oh,
loved
that was a whistle. Sorry. Go ahead.
I loved them.
Yeah, and that's cool. And maybe if I go back and try in a different frame of mind, maybe I will too. Uh, anyway, all right. Those are the everything we're watching together right now, right?
I think so.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, here, let me look at yours real quick. No, I haven't seen Prepping for Surgery. Birthday Dinner I've not seen.
Spoiler alerts.
Oh, am I giving too much away? Oh, Glamorous.
Oh, okay. So have you finished it?
I finished it weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I just finished it this time.
That's
And
because you just started watching it.
I just finished it like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you just started watching this week.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah. Okay. What you think? I've been
Well,
talking for weeks.
okay, so Glamorous was really fun. It took me a couple episodes to kind of get past like feeling that it was kind of, I don't know.
Too gay?
No, it wasn't that, although it was very gay. I mean, this was like the gayest gay of many gay things since like Queer as Folk gay. Uh it just was kind of like, I just felt like they were just throwing something together to, oh, well, let's throw this together real quick and get a quick little grab for Netflix. And then, like, about episode 3, it started coming around, and by episode 4, I was all in, and I loved the rest of it. I thought it was a very fun show. It is a light watch. It is, yes, it is very kind of ugly Betty, and what's the movie?
Devil Wear Prada.
Yeah, it is right along in all those lines. And you know what? Who cares? I love that story.
Yeah,
I love that story. So bring it. Um,
yeah. Well, I always love it when people go, "Oh, it's just, another Star Wars ripoff." Well, was it good? Well,
yeah,
yeah, but it's just a Star. Okay, who cares? Everything's a ripoff of something.
right. There's only like 7 storylines in the world that you can tell. So just tell it in a good new way. So I thought it was a lot of fun. I will say that I was in the first couple episodes, I was a little not put off, but I was a little apprehensive about how femme he was. And then I realized that it wasn't that I was put off or anything by it. It was that I was going through those first few episodes like worried for him. Like I didn't want him to get hurt or bashed or it's like that whole like kind of the generation I think that we grew up in where you kind of had to pull it back, girl, and watching shows where they're not pulling it back, you're still applying that same like, oh my God, please don't let somebody just hit him with a baseball bat all of a sudden, you know. So once I kind of got over the okay, it's a character, that's not this story, just move on. And then I bought into it and it was fun. And then the end was a little bit of a surprise, but also not a surprise. So
Yeah, with because I know what you're talking about, but for me, it wasn't that. It wasn't worried about him getting hurt. It was just, um, it's it's hard to say. It's like, it's almost like the character was forced. Kind of, it's like, okay, make him super gay because it's the whole way the whole movie, the whole show felt the series, but once you got, I mean, it didn't take long to come around to loving this character.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, after a little bit, you were all over him. It's like I can't. Oh my God! Now I'm not worried about him getting hurt, physically, but emotionally. I was in, and
Yes.
uh,
Yeah.
and I thought they had some really interesting things. I think it's amazing that everybody wanted him after, uh, before too long, because that's just the way it is. When you start that new job, everybody wants to fuck you.
Right.
It's
Well,
weird.
I loved it because he really the actor really did well at making you love him. I mean, he just and buying into the like you can see why everybody liked him because he had such a good energy about him, you
Yeah,
know.
and even though you hated the first boyfriend, I guess the only boyfriend,
Oh
but you
yeah.
hated him, but you understood what his problem was.
Mm.
And it's just he's one of those people that it's like, oh yeah, yeah, no, I love you, but I just don't want to be seen in public with you because you're too gay.
Yeah, I know those guys,
Sure.
so yeah. And
And
please don't
but,
tell
you know
anybody
what?
because
So you understand them, but in this case, he's the bad guy.
yes. Yep.
I might even have thought that way if I was in the same situation, but I certainly wouldn't act on it like he did.
Oh yeah, he was a dick. But
Yeah,
and I actually I think that once they took it, what was it like episode 5 or 6 or something like that, when they went to P Town and they actually took it out of the office,
right.
like the characters got to broaden and like it kind of like needed that to kind of gel and took them outside of just that one storyline setting of trying to save the company.
Well, just if nothing else, that amazing performance of He Had It Coming,
Yes, I
which
was
was
blown away by that.
so good, so
Yeah.
good. Uh,
And I absolutely adored the little guy that had a crush on him.
right, but I
Awesome
was
guy.
I was more impressed with the with Kim Cattrall's son.
Really? I don't know.
In that particular, when he was in, He Had It Coming.
Oh
I
yes. Yes,
I was more
yeah,
impressed with
right.
him because I did not think that he could be, that he was going to be that kind of a, well, be able
Good.
to. It just felt like he was just gonna. He can only do that character, the
Yeah.
son. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm buffed and I'm good looking and
Yeah.
I'm blonde. Who can say anything bad about me? Yeah, that's because let's face it, when I see a show and I see that character, I automatically hate them. I don't care if they're
Yes.
the nicest person in the whole world. I'm going to not like them because they come across as being just some ego gym freak.
Right. And I agree. I did not see that actor having range other than that, and he did.
Mhm.
So anyway, so I know that they probably won't, but I would love a season 2 of this.
Well, they're gonna. I guarantee you, there's going to be a season two.
I hope so. I really do. And to see, well, I don't want to do any spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen it yet. So, but I'd like to see season 2. So,
Okay.
okay. Let's see. I'll just finish what I was watching. I rewatched Nanny McPhee Returns. I love her so much. Um, I still think the first one was better, but I don't
Didn't
care.
she write both of them?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because one of my favorite movies of hers is Sense and Sensibility, and
Hmm.
that's the one that she won the Oscar for writing the screenplay because she's that good at screenplay writing. Well, she's as good at screenplay writing as she is as an actress. So
I don't think I've ever seen anything that she's done where I didn't think she was just absolutely brilliant.
yeah, that late night show where she played the Johnny
Yes.
Carson character,
Yeah.
excellent. Another really good show for her.
Um, Love Actually,
Yeah,
another amazing character when she has that scene where she figures out what's going on
yeah.
and has that breakdown and pulls it back together. Oh,
When she didn't get the necklace,
yeah.
oh God, we are all her.
Yes.
Everybody's felt that way at one time or another, and even if it's not legitimate, we've all felt it. We
Hmm.
thought for sure that we had, we were going through what she was.
Yeah. So I have to say I think that she's probably moved up on my list of like maybe top 3 actresses, well, performers, period. But okay, let's see what else. I watched Super Intelligence, which is the one with Melissa McCarthy, who Super Intelligence AI has like come into sentience and decides that he's going to decide whether he wants to save or destroy humanity based on her and her getting back together with her ex-husband, who was played by the wonderful and amazing guy whose name I can't remember. He was Will's like husband on Will and Grace.
Oh, I love him.
I know, Mike. I think his name is Michael Canelavi,
Bobby,
something like that. But
Bobby
I just
Cannavale.
think he's so fun.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, James Corden was in this, and it's so sad to see what's happened with James Corden. But of course, he brought it on himself. So yeah. Um, so it was fun. It was fun. It was one of those like you just watch it to watch it and have some fun and don't expect any major epiphany out of it. Witcher season 3 finale. I watched the final 3 episodes of that, which were just basically, yeah, like set up for season 4.
With the new actor.
Yes. And I'm kind of okay with that. Honestly, I just don't think that as much as I love him, what's his name? Can't remember his name at the moment.
Oh my
I
God.
just don't think that he brought anything to that role or that they gave him anything to enough to bring to that role.
Well, no, I thought he was great in the role. I agree that, you know what? He doesn't need to be naked. I mean, the character
Yeah.
doesn't have to be naked. And believe me, if they put you or I in there, we would be fully clothed the entire time. But
Yeah,
because it's
Henry Cavill. I
Henry,
remember it.
yes,
Yes.
yeah, since it's him,
Yeah.
and they want him naked, and why do you think they brought in Liam Hemsworth?
Well, the thing is that I understand about the not naked, but you could damn well do shirtless. You don't fucking put Henry Cavill in a role and not want him to get shirtless because it's going to get everybody watching it even more because it's not the best of storylines.
Right. Well, no one's going to disagree with you there except for Henry.
Well, but I understand not wanting to do the naked and blah blah blah. If that's your thing, whatever. But again, you could at least do shirtless.
Did you know it's Dean Cain's birthday?
Oh, that piece of poop.
Oh,
You do know, like he's like a Scott Baio, like a hardcore crazy Republican.
well, I
And I
didn't think
don't
you
mean
were going to
like
marry
bashing
him.
Republicans. I mean like he's a nutcase one.
Okay.
No.
He didn't really kill his wife. That was a part he played.
Oh no, no. I mean that's one of the reasons I won't watch any of his Christmas movies and shit anymore. He hates he's nuts. Anyway,
Played a gay
so
character in the Heartbreak Kit Club.
well, no, I'm not saying that he wasn't fun when he was you didn't realize what a nutcase he was. That's why the nutcases should just shut the fuck up and take our money. So, Witcher season 4, they've got a really good cast and they've got great performances, but I just think that the storyline is failing. Okay, I watched all that, did all that. Okay, I haven't watched that yet. Thought there was something else that I watched. I watched Good Omens finally.
The
Um,
first season.
what's that?
First season.
Yeah, I watched the first season and I watched the first episode of the second season.
Okay.
And it's really fun. I mean, everybody kept telling me that I'll love the show when I finally get a chance to sit and watch it. And they're right. It's a really, really fun show. And if you want a good, fun show, go watch it. I mean,
It reminded me of kind of like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
oh yeah, yeah.
Where they sit and they argue about shit, and then the story goes on. It's
Yep.
like, and they're just kind of roaming around the storyline, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So, quick synopsis: Devil, Angel, Friends, Mischief, stopping the end of the world. So there you go. That's basically it, and that's all you need to know. It's a good watch. Other real life stuff. We're prepping for my mom's surgery that's coming in 2 days. It's the closer it gets, the more nerve-wracking it gets, but I know that she's strong and she's gonna do well. So it is a knee replacement surgery, so they'll be like taking out the whole joint, putting in a new one, and so yeah, we'll be dealing with that. We went to our friend Seaman, his birthday party this Saturday. Went downtown to Roscoe's, and you came.
Birthday.
It was his birthday party, right?
You called him Seaman.
Yes, that's what we call him on the other show. C,
Oh,
because his first name is Charlie. C man, and he used to be a sailor.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know, because I don't listen to that filthy show of yours.
No, you don't listen, but you sure watch our Twitter pretty closely.
No, I'm there to learn what's going on without having to,
Educating you.
I can do it at my own time.
Yeah,
Shut up.
exactly. So anyway, so we went to his birthday party and it was a very fun little get
It
together,
wasn't.
and I was very glad that you came.
It wasn't fun.
It was fun. Well, the music made it was a little too loud. It made it impossible for us to have like a real conversation.
Oh yeah, so we're sitting there for an hour and a half. We can't hear each other.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Oh, believe me, it was fun.
and then that asshole waiter who kept deliberately giving me your stuff and giving you my stuff
Yeah.
because we're obviously the same person.
Right. Well, actually, and then Tom screams out to the entire room, does he really think I'm that fat?
I did not say that.
You did. Oh, you whisper it in Brian's ear anyway.
No, Brian whispered it in my ear.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, you haven't lost that much weight because you're still as fat as Matt in
You
twink
guys are just
size.
horrible, horrible people.
But
Anyway.
but it was. I mean, he and Clint, even when he's tried to bring over the second thing of mayo and leave it at,
Yeah.
Clint goes, no, that goes at the end of the other end of the table. because even he was getting irritated by him trying to make me feel bad.
Well, it was just stupid because I asked for an extra thing of mayo on the side, and he comes out of the hallway, which is practically right next to me, and he goes all the way around the table to the other side, and then hands it over to me. I'm like, what the fuck is the
Yeah.
matter with this guy? And then we ended up sitting there and almost an entire 15 minutes waiting for the bill before he finally comes over and says, "Oh, your friend who was here earlier paid for everything." I'm
Which
like,
was thank you again for that.
very, very, very grateful and thank you to him. But the waiter could have fucking told us that everything was taken care of rather than just hanging out doing other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Not like not hearing.
right, exactly.
Because it was, I just know when I stepped out of that restaurant, it was like, oh, such peace. I
Oh,
had
right.
so
And then
quiet.
and then you went home, but the rest of us went to the depot next door and hung out there for a little bit. And there was hardly anyone in there, and the music was not that loud, and we could all sit and talk. It was very, very lovely.
No, what I heard you guys did was you all had a beer and you watched the TV.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what you go to the depot for. But we
Right.
were talking to,
Okay. I don't know. I just heard secondhand.
well, you know that your second hand is kind of a shit stirrer,
Oh no,
so
that was from
take everything
Clint.
with a grain of salt.
That was from Clint, not from Brian.
Well, he's a shit stirrer too. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He always downplays everything so that you won't feel like you missed anything, which you didn't. So,
I know. You know what I missed?
but
I missed. Oh wait, no, I didn't miss anything because I got to go home.
that's true. Yeah, you went home for the good stuff.
Well, then I got home. I got high. I didn't turn on the TV right away. It was just nice and quiet. I felt like such an old man because I lost partial hearing in my right ear because of the Bell's palsy, and
Right.
I could only honestly I could only hear Brian because he was like in my ear, and Clint was facing me, and I could read his lips too. But Charlie, who talks kind of like this,
Yeah.
it's like what? And
Yeah.
everything he said to anybody, everyone's like, "What?" And he's going, "Well, I said that." Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
Well,
terrible.
and it's really hard when you have music like that because I don't have like most of my mid-range hearing is gone. So unless it's higher or lower, I don't know what the fuck you're saying to me. I could be agreeing to most anything in a situation like that. You like nodding away and
And it was funny because the restaurant it's a video musical bar basically. So everything that's playing is also accompanied by a video. And it was drag queen night, obviously, because with the exception of Justin Timberlake and an AI video, everything else was drag queens.
Yep.
There was drag queens, drag queens, drag queens. There were drag queens out of drag and drag queens in drag, but there was plenty of drag queens.
And the three times that I've been there, other than that, that music has not been like that. But that was just miserable.
And the food was actually good once everyone got what they were supposed to get.
Right. Oh, I forgot to upload my pics for that. But
I was the only one that got their right meal the first time.
yeah, pretty much. And I'll tell you, the
Wait,
last
actually,
time,
did he try to hand that to you first?
which one?
My hamburger?
No,
Okay.
no, I was basically not handed anything until the end.
Oh, so this one must be yours.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
pretty much.
I wasn't in the first three. I was in the last two that got delivered, and well, that got delivered. Well,
Exactly.
because Clint got something with a bun. He wanted no bun. Charlie didn't. He wanted the thing. He knew it wasn't his Impossible Burger because he didn't order onion rings. I think it was. And then Brian's like, I don't even know if this is what I ordered, but I'll eat it.
Right, just to eat
Because I said,
something.
that didn't smell like gorgonzola. I thought I'd smell it. He goes, well, I'm not even sure that's what I ordered. And then Clint finally got that flat thing with bacon and cheese on it, and It was, wow, hamburgers without buns just are not as appealing as they are with buns.
No.
I'll
And
even take two
buns,
slices
huh?
of white bread.
Yeah, I had we just had never had that experience there before. But I think the waiter was far more interested in trying to be cutesy than he
Well,
was
to
actually
Clint.
paying attention to what his job.
Yeah, just to Clint though.
Whatever the reason. I'm
Because he didn't
just
like
like,
the two fat guys at either end.
oh
And
wait, no. I'm sorry, you need to include Brian in that because Brian's actually bigger than you now. So
well, it's close, but I know what you're saying. I noticed that too.
there
But
were
it,
three Chubs going wild.
yeah, okay. Anyway,
So, all right, moving on. Yeah, and then we had a nice time. The only other thing is my Firefox had a meltdown last night, and
I don't know what that means.
it it just popped up all of a sudden. Like I was doing something else, like, and I went to get my browser, my Firefox browser up,
Oh,
and
okay. So the
it
app.
yeah, and it said something about an error, and so I clicked the okay, and then it restarted and all my extensions were gone and almost all the websites that like are preloaded to log in and everything were done. So I ended
First
up
of
having
all,
to,
I don't like you in extensions, so that's all right with me.
oh I oh yeah, funny. Um but it's really fucking annoying. It's really fucking annoying on a browser when you have everything set the way that you want. You're used to everything for ages, and then all of a sudden you have to figure out what the fuck every password is. And every time that you had written down what the password is and you look it up and it's not that anymore, and you have to jump through a code on your phone and a code on your email, and then oh
Oh,
god.
I had to do that
Oh,
yesterday. Yesterday when I was recording with Brian,
uh-huh.
it wasn't giving me my emails. So I had to change my password and I
Yeah.
changed it and it goes, no, you have to use a different one. And I
Yep.
used a different one. No, that you used that in the last year.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, how about this one? No, that was, and so I finally got one. I put it in there. So it was working. And then I was trying to get into my iPad where I had to change it in my iPad. Then I had to change it on my
On your
phone, on
phone.
my
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. And then you have to have one with the capital and one with the period, and one with the space, and one with this email address, and three other verification. Oh God.
And I had to, for some reason, my watch said I had to remove my underwear. I don't know why.
Well, it just wanted a little peek, see what sex that thing was down
Oh,
there.
I like to use my phone as a cock ring.
Okay, that'll work. I don't know how you would get it around it, but okay. All right, well, let's see what advice we got here. Okay. Well, it's so big. I don't know how the watch would fit.
It's a expandable band.
Okay. Don't have to get upset. We'll talk about that on the other podcast.
Okay.
All right. Dear Miss Manners, I received an invitation to a bachelor party that is being held on a weekend cruise. The guests are responsible for paying their own cruise reservations, which cost $400 per person.
That's
I
it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too. Um, I confided in a family member that I thought it was rather gauche for a couple in their 50s who lived together to have a bachelor party at all, and that it seemed completely outrageous to plan an extravagantly expensive party and expect guests to pay for it. I was informed that these types of trips are commonplace pre-wedding festivities, and that I was out of touch to consider it rude. I defer to Miss Manners' expertise. Is it a reasonable and is this a reasonable and expected form of a bachelor party, or is this host out of line?
Well, obviously, this person is out of touch with everything
Oh,
because,
God.
yeah, I know you didn't work at many offices that had lots of children, but I used to, I back when I was working in an office, the the people with kids would tell me of how they have to outdo all the kids in
Oh,
the
yes.
all their friends' kids. It's like, oh, you can't take them to the movies anymore. you know, shit, you'll still spend $150, you know, $200 taking them to the movies. Oh no, no. Now it's like you have to have a party at one of those trampoline places or an escape room, or you know, here oh, you're driving them to the fair for the day. Oh no, no, no. What we're doing is we're driving up to Tahoe to take them swimming in the lake. Oh, it's like everything has to be more than the
over the
other.
top.
So
Yeah,
so $400 party
per
cruise.
person.
It's well, yeah, that's expensive, but you know, if you want to pay it, you don't go.
Right. That's because I
And
certainly wouldn't be going.
and I mean, you're lucky this isn't a destination wedding, because that's the other thing that's I think is rude and expensive. Because I know that Brian's brother got married in arugula, not arugula.
But
No, it's not Bermuda. It's
Aruba.
Aruba. In
Okay.
Aruba. So all the guests and all the family had to fly down there, and it was at a Sandals. So Sandals is for couples, and so Brian had to pay for a double, you know, room for a couple. So he's got the air, the fee for that, and then they expect gifts on top of that, right? They expect gifts, and you got to have a wardrobe to wear. And well, who's going to pay for? Well, Sandals. The nice thing is once you pay the $8,000 for to go, serve you all the food and drinks, you know, that you want. But it's, I mean, you're going to spend $10,000-15,000 a person, or maybe a couple, going to something like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely fucking
Right,
not.
right. It's like, fuck you, I'm not going to your wedding. Why? I don't want to spend that money to go someplace I don't want to go.
Here's a camera, an
But
internet
it won't be the
connection,
same
and
if you're not
$50.
there.
I will
Okay.
watch the live stream.
Yeah,
That no,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, the
So
$400 for me is like a absolute is like a no. But if you are an older, wealthy, blah blah blah, that circle thing, then I don't. That's just something extra that they're gonna do. If you have the money and you want to do it, do it. If you
well,
don't,
it's
don't
also a
do it.
weekend cruise, so it's probably a Friday, Saturday night.
Right,
So $400 is not a bad price for that,
right,
but still, it's a bit, some people it's a bigger expense than it is for others.
right.
So
For me, that
it,
would be a monumental expense, but for others,
it's rude, but at the same time, they should be able to have what they want.
mhm,
And if you're not obviously you're not a major member of the family, so otherwise we'd be talking about how compelled you are to have to go to this because it's my nephew's what, you know, or something.
right, yeah. And this is just a bachelor party,
Right.
even
It's
the wedding.
not even the wedding.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that the cruise probably does not include cocktails.
No, it'll include some cocktails, all right. But yeah. All
That's
right.
2 words, right?
What?
Cocktail, 2 words.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Gentle reader, whoever described the practice of sticking guests with large expenses as commonplace should probably avoid accusing others of being out of touch. And on the subject of things not to say, Miss Manners hopes that the family member you confided in has no relation to the would-be host you accused of rudeness. Issuing pay your own way invitations is rude, but so is saying so to anyone other than an immediate confidant, well out of the host's hearing. There is no need to reprimand the would-be host, other, of course, than politely declining his invitation. Yep, works for me. All right. Hey, Chubs, Timothy asks, what's your favorite TV series so far this year?
Okay. Series this year. I certainly see it's because we really haven't started the new season. So I'm going to go with I really enjoyed A League of Their Own from last season
Right.
on Prime.
Mhm.
And we're going to get a short. No, you stop that. I didn't ask you anything. Sorry. Certain
Wow.
phone was trying to record me.
Well, if you're on video, yeah, it looks like Sean was under the desk.
Oh, okay. He's not. He's over in his chair. So anyway, um, and then the other one was Reboot, which they canceled. So the two best shows I saw on television this last year have both basically been canceled.
Reboot was really good. So I think probably my favorite series so far this year, right now, I'm gonna say probably And Just Like That, because that's one I look forward to watching. It's hitting all my
No.
spots. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, I also like Reboot on Netflix.
I really did like that, and I was unhappy that it didn't have a comeback, because it was great seeing the older actors, especially in the comedy room, working with the younger ones when they finally started joking back and forth together.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm talking
Reboot.
about the two boys in high school that fall in love in England.
Oh,
Heartbreak.
well, you said reboot, so I was going with that. That one is, well, the one that most of our listeners are yelling at us right now, but I know which one you're talking about.
Season 2 starts this week.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, I
Um,
really enjoyed that.
I will watch that first season so that I can watch this season. But everybody, even like Ouija, who usually is just like, "Meh," he loved that show. He thought it was
yeah,
really good. So
well, it's a gay storyline that's trying really hard not to be too gay.
uh-huh.
And like everyone is in high school. It's like,
Stopper.
even if you're assumed gay, the last thing you want to be is you give anybody that realization that it is true, and they're going to come after you because of
Yeah. Heartstopper, right?
Heartstoppers.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, hey Chubs, Timothy wants to know what's your favorite movie of 2003 so far?
23.
2023, yes.
Gosh, I haven't seen that many movies this year.
Oh, it should be pretty easy.
Yeah,
It wasn't for me. I had to think way back.
really all that far back. Well, tell me what
Yes, because
we
I
were.
don't remember hardly anything that I actually saw that was a new release.
Hey, what was yours? And I'll think of mine.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Really? Okay. And
Yeah.
why?
It was it was fun. I laughed, I cried, I really enjoyed it. It was a fun ride. And so until I see something, that just like tops that right now, that's gonna be my favorite so far, 2023.
Okay, I'm looking down the list. I want to say John Wick, but it was too long.
Yeah.
Um, and see, Elemental didn't do it for me. Indiana Jones was fun.
It was fun, but
I
yeah.
enjoyed Flash.
I
Uh,
did too. I actually, yeah, I really did enjoy that.
yeah, 80 for Brady was terrible. Knock on the Cabin was good. Um, oh boy,
You know, that one's got such a good cast. I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it because I hate movies like that.
yeah. Wow. I would probably go with
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
no, no. I mean, it was okay. Wow. Yeah,
Gotta see Margaret.
I'll go with Little Mermaid.
Really? Okay, cool. That's a good
Either
one.
that or The Flash. Those were the two I enjoyed the most.
Okay. I haven't seen Little Mermaid yet.
Well, it'll be coming on Disney Plus shortly.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be sometime in August. It has to be because they're bringing out Guardians of the Galaxy 3 this week. And then at the middle of, well, right after Labor Day, they're bringing out, it's not Indiana Jones. It's not, Elemental. It's coming out then. So Little Mermaid was in between. So it's got to be somewhere in there. And then Indiana Jones probably at the end of September. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But Disney, after they've been having these bad experiences with Elemental and with Indiana Jones and now with Haunted Mansion, I expected their stock to go down today, but it didn't.
I don't know about Haunted Mansion.
The
Just look
reviews,
at it and I'm just like, oh, really?
well, to me, it's like, okay, you keep failing making this into a hit. Why do you keep
Uh,
remaking it?
I, even the Muppets one was just ghastly.
Well, not ghastly, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, ghastly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'll watch any piece of whatever. If it's a holiday one for Halloween or Christmas, I'll throw it in there. But that one, I was like, no, I don't want to see that again. So, and it's Muppets. How could you go wrong with Muppets?
I think that the second time watch is going to be better.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Phoenix Dave wrote into What's in Your Lunchbox, and he said, so for lunch today, I had lasagna. It looks like it melted in the Louisiana heat. I also had broccoli and garlic toast. Overall, it was pretty good. Looks good.
Yeah.
That garlic toast. I love garlic toast. And which is good because somebody never lets me forget about how somebody got me some Texas toast for my birthday.
Not
I
me.
never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
All right. And then from Mr. Moose, we've got a good weight training session today. So celebrating with an espresso martini, cold espresso, sugar, and vodka. Sounds gross, but
No,
so refreshing on a hot day. Also,
sounds
a little,
gross. Sounds
also
good.
gives
Sounds
a
real.
little kick to wake me up.
Well, and I love the green mat makes it look like it's creamed in
Green, right? That's what I thought. I was like, oh, this is some green dement or something.
right, right. Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
ooh, look at that hot and fresh soup and sandwich.
Another sandwich. Quiznos is within walking distance to my house, so they get a lot of my business. Today finished mowing lawn and also fertilizing the flowers. 98 degrees, so didn't want anything too heavy. Got a prime rib sandwich, wheat bread with a heavy smear of horseradish. Half pound of thin sliced beef, tomato, Swiss cheese, and olives. Whole thing toasted to melt the cheese. Yummy. Cheddar and broccoli soup, even though it's hot. Yes,
It looks,
I would like that, please.
yeah, it looks so good. So good.
You know, the first time I ever had a Quiznos sandwich that was like toasted and everything, I had just had like way too much to drink. And you know how sometimes you eat something after that and it's like the best thing you've ever eaten? I, oh, so good. So good. Anyway, moving on. Taking a cue from Big Fatty. I can never pronounce that right. Tanqueray?
Tangeray.
Okay. And tonic, but with 3 limes instead of 3. 3 limes instead of 3. Refreshing. Not sure what that means, but okay. Wow. Gin and tonic. Ugh.
Get to the chicken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just gin has not been my friend. So
Oh no, I don't drink gin.
you like gin?
No,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
no,
gotcha.
I'm vodka. I'm a vodka girl.
Oh, well, I knew that. That's what I was like.
Well,
Wait,
I'm always surprised when, vodka drinkers drink gin. Usually you're one or the other.
I can see that. Gin, just no, thank you.
Well, I just, I don't like that pledge taste. Um,
Juniperis,
yeah, it's
junipers.
what's the pine sol? It tastes like pine sol,
Ah, okay. Yeah, I hear you.
or well, it smells like pine sol, so that's how I think it tastes.
Well, it's kind of like I think martinis are like drinking gasoline. So,
Yeah.
uh, All right. Thai restaurant today. This is chicken with basil. Well, basil, depending on where you're from. Chicken, veggies, and a hot fish sauce. Did I say hot? Took first bite and thought, not too hot. Second bite, I chomped down right on a pepper. It took my breath away and I started tearing up. I felt like a fire in my mouth. So good. He ends it with so good. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I hate to think of Moose crying, so that makes me sad, but a hot mouth sounds good. Wait, did I say that wrong? That sounded wrong.
no, you didn't. Don't
That's
worry. I'll dry your tears.
so very wrong. Okay.
And
Hey,
then,
did you know about Golden Rule Services?
well, wait. Don't forget that we will have a picture of our mushroom swish
Oh, okay.
burger. It is not on our Trello, but that's what I had at the
I didn't take a picture.
podcast. You didn't? Okay. Well, I took pictures of everybody at the table. I'll post a picture of you eating your dinner later.
Oh yeah, I'll post that picture of you eating too.
Like you take pictures of me. Anyway,
Only when they're
worry when I'm
bad.
Charlie.
Only when they're bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a picture of Brian actually with the fork in his mouth, and Clint isn't smiling or looking at the camera.
Oh, he's such a bear. If he doesn't pose just perfectly,
And Charlie, I couldn't even get it. He was moving so quickly, it was just a blur.
which is unusual for him. All right. Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And don't forget, if you're sexually active, PrEP is for everyone. All right. Well, you can find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. You can find my books over at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And of course, you can give us a call at
408-69 Chubs, which will also get you an entry in the Halloween contest. So
in fact,
the fall contest or whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
So remember, it's a phone call, it's an email, it's a dick pic. What else is
it's a comment on
the lunch
Facebook.
thing? What you have for your lunch.
And if you give us a call, I'll throw in 2 entries for you.
Yeah, and if you throw in a dick pic, please let us know who it is.
And we'll give you an entry per.
Don't just send it anonymous.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, not to do it per because poor Miss Bacon. Well, she might win. I don't know. Anyway, all right. We will catch you later. Bye.
Good day, esteemed listeners. Pray mark your diaries for the 15th to the 17th of September, for you shall want to be in attendance at pride48.com. We cordially invite you to our grand denouement, the 15th, and indeed final annual podcasting gala. Join us as we traverse the kaleidoscope of our community, featuring delightful LGBTQ and LGBTQ-friendly podcasts from the illustrious Pride 48 lineup, as well as a few surprises. It's your last opportunity to be part of this extraordinary event. Should you desire further particulars, visit the Pride 48 website. Don't forget, dear listener, September 15th to the 17th. Don't miss your opportunity to partake in this splendid celebration, only at pride48.com.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.